This video will show you how to replace the AC condenser on a Chrysler Town Country. This will be located along the front of your engine compartment. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. Make sure you have your AC refrigerant professionally evacuated. Once you've had the AC refrigerant removed, we can start the removal process of the AC condenser. Looking along the front of the vehicle, we can see our plastic grille. Along the top of the plastic grille, you have two push clips, one on either side. Carefully remove the pair. For this, I'm using a trim tool. Now we have some movement from that. We're moving towards each one of our headlights. You're going to find that there's a 10mm bolt on each side of the vehicle. Remove the pair. Now we have plenty of movement from this area. We're going to continue on removing this cross member. You're going to find that it has several 10mm headed mounting bolts that have to be removed. Some of them are hidden. We do not need to remove these two. Let's continue on. All of these mounting bolts look the same. You do not need to worry about mixing them up. Now we can start lifting up on this. You may find that it feels like it's binding on either side. That's due to two locating tabs, one on either side. Just go ahead and pull away on the grill. We'll give this a wiggle and lift it up and out of position. Now you can tell that we do still have our hood cable here. We need to swing this out of the way. Now this entire piece will lift up, and that just gives us a little bit more slack here. Over towards the passenger side of the AC condenser. On the radiator, we do have one mount here. This is what we dislodged on the other side that had the hood cable on it. I just like to dislodge it. I'm going to give it a quick inspection and set it aside just so it doesn't fall down. So now there's a rubber seal that comes across the top of the AC condenser and radiator. As I start lifting this up, I'm just paying attention to the seal. We will be reusing this. Along the bottom, you can see where the groove is that goes along the radiator. This looks perfect. We'll set it aside. Along the passenger side of the radiator, just underneath the radiator cap, we can see where our AC lines go into the AC condenser. We'll use a 13mm for each one of the two mounting nuts. We'll start at the top. Now as we start sliding this line out of position, we need to make sure nothing makes its way inside of the AC line. There we go, just a little bit of vacuum pressure there. That's from the removal of the refrigerant. Slide that right off of there. Now on my application, the gasket was stuck. Typically you can just take hold of that. We'll slide it right off of there. Set that aside. Same process for the next line. Both of those mounting nuts are the same. There's that line. That looks good as well. We'll set it aside. Now in that same area, we can see that we have a 10mm bolt. This is holding the radiator and the AC condenser together. Let's remove that bolt. Now we're making our way all the way over towards the other side of the radiator and the AC condenser. Now I have the radiator and the AC condenser pushed rearward, and I'm holding it there with a small spacer. Along the driver's side, on the front here, we can see that we have two transmission cooler lines leading into the AC condenser. Let's remove the pair. Now for each of these, you're going to find that you have a small plastic protective cover. Just pry that out of place. That clip actually locks in the small metal clip you're going to find located just under it. These metal clips can be in different orientations. All you really need to do is use a small pick or even a small screwdriver. We're looking for the two small ears. There's going to be one on each side. We'll carefully start rolling this out of position. Now I can see that it's starting to come out here. There's my small metal clip. Quick inspection and we'll set it aside. Now at this point, we should be able to remove the line from this area. I'm just going to give it a wiggle, slide it out and away. A thorough inspection of the line. You want to make sure you clean this up. Make sure no miscellaneous debris makes its way inside. For now, I'm going to set it aside. Let's repeat the process for the next line. There we are. There's our second clip. Just reach in, take hold of that line, give it a wiggle. That looks good as well. Now that we have those lines out of place, we'll continue on down along the passenger side of the radiator and AC condenser. Right here is where we can see the upper mounting point, and this is also a locking point holding our AC condenser to the radiator. Now as far as this area is concerned, it does have two small locking tabs that we're going to carefully squeeze together, and then we should be able to slide this apart. Now I have this side separated. We want to make sure that it does not re-lock in, but we have to go over to the other side of the AC condenser on the opposite side. We have to do the same thing, but we do also have a small air diverter we have to deal with as well. Before we start flexing on this, let's start lifting up on the AC condenser. Down along the bottom, you're going to find that the radiator has two small hooked ears that the AC condenser slides down and into, one on either side. So we're lifting it up and away from those. So now as we start trying to lift this up, you can see that we do have this air diverter on this side, which is restricting us from making our way up. You can either flex it out of the way, or you could fully remove it just by pulling it off. I'm just going to start flexing here. We have the upper portion, and then we also have the middle section of this, so I'm going to pull that away as well. Now we should be able to give this AC condenser a wiggle and start lifting it up and out of here. Now as we lift this up, just be careful not to spill the transmission fluid, which may be trapped inside of the AC condenser. There it is, friend. Now prior to installation of any brand new part, of course we want to make sure we clean and inspect our mounting area. So I'm making my way all the way down along the bottom of each side of the radiator. We have that small hooked area where the AC condenser slides out of. Continuing on, we'll follow it all the way up to the top of the AC condenser. We have the upper mounting points as well. It's going to be the same on both sides of the radiator. Get the upper mounting point here. Now, as I mentioned, same thing on both sides of the radiator. After cleaning both sides of the radiator, let's pay attention along the passenger side. We have our two AC lines. Now, each of these lines will have a small O-ring gasket. It's a good idea to remove those and replace them. So for that, I'm just using a small angled pick so I can get under it, slide it out of position. A clean rag with no detergents, just a quick wipe here. Make sure there's no miscellaneous debris. Everything looks good, especially in the channel where our brand new O-ring gasket would sit. Now I've got my brand new gasket here. I make sure that it's the same size as the original. Slide it right into the groove. After that, we'll continue on with some clean PAG oil to lubricate this. Just a thin amount should do on that. Just go all the way around. Now after doing that one, just go ahead and repeat the process for the other line. Now on the driver's side, we have our two transmission cooler lines. When we clean these, we're using a clean rag. We want to be careful not to get anything inside of the transmission cooler lines. Essentially, just clean along the outboard side and give them a close inspection. That line does look good. Repeat the process for the other. Nice. Now let's get this over to the floor so we can start removing one small clip. This clip has to be transferred over to the brand new AC condenser. So for this, I'm using my small angled pick. There's actually a small locking ear inside the center of this. Then you should be able to slide it out of place. Just a quick inspection of that, and we can set this aside. Now, after cleaning everything in the engine compartment, let's focus on the brand new AC condenser. Now, I have this laying down flat. I have it on its original box here. We're looking along what would be the passenger side. This is where the AC lines would go into. We have plastic caps. Use a 13 millimeter to remove each bolt, holding the caps in place. We can also remove those caps. Sometimes during the removal of these caps, you may hear vacuum pressure. Before continuing on to our brand new studs, we're going to add 1 ounce of clean PAG oil directly into what would be the upper port. Now it's time for installation of the AC condenser mounting studs. Now for these, you're going to find that there's nothing really to grab onto with a tool to be able to tighten these into the proper positioning, so we're going to carefully double nut this. Now with that said, I'm taking one mounting nut and I'm bringing it in approximately halfway down the threads. We'll take a second mounting nut, bottom it out against there. Continuing on, we can go ahead and get this in place. And now we're going to bottom out the stud into the AC condenser. Hold that bottom nut. Right there is bottomed out. Just take it a tiny bit further here. We do want to make sure it's secure. I'll hold on to the lower nut, fully remove the upper. You can get this one off of here. Repeat the process for the next stud. Bottomed out. Tiny bit further. Now that we have both of those studs in place, we have the small clip that we had removed from the original AC condenser. That needs to slide into this position here. We're just going to slide it all the way in. We'll make sure it's properly aligned. Let's get this in the vehicle. Now we can prepare to install that brand new AC condenser. Now as we start bringing this in and down along the front of the radiator, we need to keep in mind that down along the bottom we have those hooked areas, one along each side of the radiator. We'll carefully start bringing this down. We want to be aware of our cooling fins on the AC condenser and the radiator. As I continue bringing this down, you remember along the passenger side we have that small air diverter. We're going to have to flex that out of our way as necessary. Let's see how far we can make it down first. So as we start bringing this down, as I mentioned, we're paying attention to our air diverter. We want to make sure that it's going around those lines, which are part of the AC condenser. Once we have it in that proper position, we have the hooks down along the bottom, as I mentioned, and we'll latch it in up along the top. There's that portion of it. So we're aligning it with the upper mounting point. Just try to get this aligned. Press that all the way towards the radiator. There we go. Once you feel as though you have it in the proper placement, give it a wiggle. That's good. Checking down along the bottom, it is aligned. Coming over to the other side, same process. Now that we know the AC condenser is secured, we're on the passenger side where our AC lines would go into. Before we install the AC lines, we have our 10 millimeter headed mounting bolt. Now this goes through the radiator and it screws into that small metal clip that we had transferred over to the new AC condenser. Go ahead and start it in by hand. We'll snug it up, make sure it is properly secured in place. While we're in this area, let's continue on to our two AC lines. We'll start with the lower line first. Now, as for our line, we've got the lower line. Start sliding it in towards the AC condenser. Press it on there as far as possible. We have our 13mm mounting nut. Start it on, bottom it out. The torque for each of these will be 17 foot-pounds. Double check to make sure it's completely flush and torqued properly. Repeat the process for the next line. As I mentioned, the torque will be the same. Now over on the driver's side, we have the area for our transmission cooler lines. You're going to find that you have plastic plugs in each of these. Take hold of them, dislodge them, and you can set those plugs aside. Just a quick wiggle. Typically those just slide right out. If you find you have a hard time doing it by hand, you can also use some pliers if necessary. Just be careful not to cause damage to your brand new AC condenser. Now for our lines, I'm going to be starting with the lower line first. I'm aligning it with the lower port, and then I'm pressing it straight towards the AC condenser. We want to listen for an audible click. Now after that audible click, I can tell that my locking clip is situated around the line, but I still want to try to remove the line from the AC condenser. So I'm just tugging on this. It does not fall out of place. Now once you do have the line in place, you remember during the removal process, we have these circular locks. Those will slide over our clips. That's going to make sure that nothing comes apart while we're driving down the road. Now it's time for our other line. Same as before, line it up, press it in, audible click. There we go, audible click. I'm attempting to pull it out. It does not fall out of place. Let's lock it in. While we're in this area, just double check each one of those locks and the lines. This is extremely important. They should not fall out of place. Along the top of the radiator in the AC condenser, we have to reinstall our seal. Looking along the bottom of that seal, we have this groove. That's for this area of the radiator. So we're going to make sure that it aligns. You can see right along the edge here. We have it in the proper orientation. We're going all the way across, pressing it down as far as possible. Now along the passenger side, we have our small plastic clip. We'll make sure we have it in the proper orientation so the bolt side is facing forward. Slide that down. Now on the opposite side, we have our plastic clip, but that is also attached to our hood release cable. Just bring this over. Press it down so it's as flush as possible. So now we'll start pulling away on the grille and the bumper cover so we can slide this into place. Along each side, you should have a locating tab that will slide into place as well. And now we have our mounting hardware. We're going to come all the way across. Let's start in all the hardware before tightening any of it. Now let's secure the bumper cover and our grille. One mounting bolt for each corner and one push clip as you make your way towards the center for each side. Okay friend, we finished our installation. Now there's a couple things that we need to do. First of all, you want to make sure you clean any mess. Aside from that, top off the transmission fluid with the manufacturer specified transmission fluid and have a professional recharge your AC refrigerant. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.